Impostorism. Impostorism, a real word, a real condition. It's been around since the 1970s. I first learned about it when I read Amy Cuddy's book, Presence. As a coach, I became very interested in what would cause people to feel like an imposter. It's usually associated with creative types, and certainly there have been many celebrities of late who have talked about feeling like an imposter at some point in their life. People like Meryl Streep, Denzel Washington, Sheryl Sandberg, Maya Angelou, Albert Einstein have all admitted to feeling like an imposter at some point in their life. But okay, how does that help you? The question is, do you feel like an imposter? I have created lyrics associated with feeling like an imposter, and those will be sung by Mr. D.C. Cooper. Please welcome him. Listen very carefully and see if you feel this way. Mr. Cooper.
I am the great imposter. What you see is not what I feel. I know I'm a fake when the world looks at me. They think that what they see is the real. I am the great imposter. Ooh. Hiding what's true inside. If the world only knew, what would they do? I'm afraid they would cast me aside. Ooh.
Thank you, DC. Did you listen to those words? What was the predominant theme? Feeling like a fake. Of course, feeling like an imposter. Being inauthentic. Those are the hallmarks of imposterism. What causes it? Well, there are several theories associated with the cause. One is, of course, parents. Parents are always the scapegoat. And sometimes it is true that because of high parental expectations, where your best performance was never good enough, that you learned to cover up, how to be a fake, how to pretend that your performance exceeded what you were capable of providing. Sometimes it's your own expectations. Do you have a tendency toward perfectionism? Is your good not good enough? Let's face it, if you're a perfectionist, that's a deal killer. There are no perfect people in this universe. Sometimes it can be from societal expectations. Did you have friends or colleagues who saw your weaknesses and made sure they pointed those out to you? No one wants to have their weaknesses broadcast, and so you learn to cover up the weaknesses. And let's face it, you've gotten very good at it. But at the end of the day, when you look yourself in the eye, you know that you are a phony, that you are a fake. If that is true of you, what can you do to compensate or to correct the condition? These are some of the things that I have learned that are valuable behaviors to engage in. Just from me being a coach, this is what I would recommend to you. Number one, meditation. Dr. Wayne Dyer has an AM meditation program in which he combines the meditation with positive affirmations and wonderful soothing music that will help walk you through replacing any negative self-judgment or self-limiting beliefs with positive affirmations. The second thing I would recommend is reflection time. Spend about 15 to 30 minutes each day reflecting on your behavior during the day and asking yourself questions regarding any inauthentic behavior or imposteristic type behavior that you've engaged in. Find out the reason that you did that and go even deeper and find out the reasons that you need or that you feel like you need to do that. Let's face it, friends, if you've ever dealt with weeds in the garden, you know that in order to get rid of the root of the problem, you have to pull it out so that the roots are completely eliminated in order for you to gain traction. If you want to no longer feel like an imposter, you need to find out the reasons. Sometimes it becomes, even with those two techniques, you may need a thinking partner, a coach. A coach asks open-ended questions that will help you discover the reasons for your negative self-judgment, the reasons that you even need to cover up, the reasons that you feel like an imposter. If you don't want to hire a coach, if you have a friend or a mentor that you can talk to, that may be a good technique for you to follow in order to find out the reasons that you feel like an imposter and what you can do to correct it. Those are three of the things that I know that you can do. Why don't you leave your comments below and tell us some of the things that you have been able to do in order to correct feeling like an imposter. Remember what William Shakespeare said, "To thine own self be true, and as night follows day, you cannot then be false to any man." When you show up authentic in life, you, my friend, will no longer feel like an imposter. This is Cheryl Burton, your self-leadership speaker, trainer, and coach toward your continued growth and prosperity.